European Parliament, honored guests and friends. As President of UNITEE, I feel honored to be speaking today among such a distinguished panel of speakers from the worlds of politics, diplomacy, and business. I feel humbled also to be speaking once again here in this nerve center of European democracy, which sits at the very heart of the greatest peace project in human history, the European Union. Considering the subject matter of this conference, it is no accident that we are meeting here today at the European Parliament. The European Union, as we know, it today was based upon a very simple and yet fundamental set of principles. If nations trade, they don't fight. If they cooperate and work together on issues of common concern, then war becomes obsolete, and peace and prosperity go from being aspirations to achievable goals. The European Union has transformed the relationship between the nations of Europe, and more importantly, between its peoples. Here in the European Parliament, our democratically elected representatives, including you, Madam Chairperson, work together to solve our common problems and improve the lives of all our citizens, no matter which country they call home. And I call Netherlands home. I'm a Dutch citizen from Turkish origin. Europe, as we all know, has a long and bloody history. Too many wars were fought, with too many lives lost. Since the process of European integration began in 1950, we have seen an unprecedented period of prosperity and stability in Europe. But this was only possible when Europeans came to the realization that no nation or group of nations can exist alone and cut off from the rest of the world. European nations opened their borders, allowed their citizens to move freely, and created a common market where ambitious entrepreneurs and business professionals could trade and do business in any EU country as easily as if it were their own country. Today, Europe is a key economic player in the world, but this has been no easy achievement, and the 50 years of European Union integration have been a slow and arduous process. At a time of such economic and political uncertainty, and you know all about it, we Europeans must be bold, decisive and proactive in order to ensure that we remain a key player in the global economy. In an era where we are faced with so very many crises, from global warming to starvation and dire poverty, this is not the time for nations to retreat back into their own corners of the world. We must work together to solve our common problems, and the first and most tangible step in this process is the promotion of trade. And we are here today for it. Over the past quarter of a century, the world has changed immeasurably. Rapid advances in communications technology and low-cost transport mean that doing business in any corner of the world is now easy for even the smallest entrepreneur. With the click of a mouse, a budding entrepreneur here in Europe can find a buyer for his or her product thousands of miles away in Japan, Malaysia, Brazil, or even in Australia. But while we possess the means, we must do all we can to encourage and support our business leaders to take full advantage of what the world economy has to offer. European Commissioner for Trade Karel de Gucht pointed out recently that around 90% of the world's economic growth takes place beyond the European Union's borders. This is a daunting reality for Europe, and both our aging population and declining birth rate will compound this situation further as the century progresses. Therefore, we must act now to ensure that Europe remains an engine for economic growth in the world, open and competitive and eager to engage and do businesses with the rapidly growing economies of Asia. Asia has long been a vital powerhouse in the world economy. We need only to look around our own homes to see televisions, cars, and everyday electrical devices all manufactured in Japan, China, and many other countries to the east. But as we look forward to the 21st century, Asia's key position in the world economy is beyond question. HSBC Bank, in its Global Trade Forecast 2012, highlighted some very important trends in the world economy. The nations of the Middle East and North Africa, the so-called MENA, together with Latin America and the Asia-Pacific region, will demonstrate growth in trade greater than the world average. South Korea is set to overtake the United Kingdom as the world's 6th largest trading nation, while China will overtake the USA as the world's largest trading nation by 2016. Indonesia will see its overall trade grow by 7.16% over the next 5 years. These are truly remarkable trends, and I think they give us, as Europeans, some idea of where our attention should be focused in the coming years. The European Union, I am glad to say, has taken heed of the necessity for greater engagement with the growing economies of Asia, breaking down administrative barriers and making it easier to do business in that region. To highlight this point further, Vietnam, along with Singapore and Malaysia, has recently begun negotiating free trade agreements with the European Union. I was very encouraged to read an article in Nikkei Weekly recently by the Japanese Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry, Mr. Yukio Edano. Sorry about my accent, but I can't say it better, I think. Mr. Edano mentioned that there are 110 Japanese companies currently operating in Turkey, and that he is hopeful for cooperation between Japan and Turkey in distribution and other businesses covering Turkey's surrounding regions in which Turkey will act as a base. Indeed, HSBC Bank, in their 2011 Trade Forecast Quarterly Update, reported that in the period up to 2025, Turkey will grow as a vital trade hub. It's about Turkey as trade hub today, linking Europe to the Middle Eastern and Central Asian markets. HSBC also reported that trade between Turkey and 2 key Asian markets, Russia and China, will grow up by 123% respectively, while China is likely to replace Germany as Turkey's 3rd largest trading partner. Ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged to have here today Mr. Satoru Hayashi, Vice Chairman of one of Asia's technological giants, Fujitsu Technology Solutions. Fujitsu has already, as I understand it, taken concrete steps towards investing in the Turkish market, and I look forward to hearing Mr. Hayashi's insights later today. Turkey is ideally placed, therefore, in geographic, geopolitical, and economic terms to become a key regional trade hub, linking Europe with Central and Eastern Asia. What about our role as the European Turkish Business Confederation, UNITEE? Our organization, UNITEE, is ideally placed to aid and facilitate European entrepreneurs who wish to access the Turkish hub. Our confederation comprises more than 12,000 entrepreneurs and 2,500 business professionals of Turkish descent based in 20 countries around Europe. We have here today, sitting in front of me, entrepreneurs, and business professionals from Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, France, Sweden, and the United Kingdom. So why then are you, our entrepreneurs, important in this process? Because whatever your business sector, you know Europe and you know Turkey. European Turkish entrepreneurs can help you